All right, guys, welcome to the big day. It's a day I've been waiting for a long time, and I'm super excited to be here with you guys. I want to thank you, first of all, for tuning in. This is a kind of a tough time. It's 10 o'clock in California. What is it like? What do you guys have in Europe? I think you probably have like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So wherever you're tuning in from, thanks for being here. I'm so excited. I can't tell you. I've got my heart is pounding because this is a super exciting announcement I've wanted to do for a long time. So I'm going to do a couple things. First of all, I'm going to take a deep breath. Take a little sip of lemonade. I'm going to give you a little history before I make the announcement. So first thing, for those of you who know me, know my background in dogs and dog training, I started out wanting to save dogs. I started out with this real passion of loving dogs, of wanting dogs to have a better life. And I dedicated a big part of my life to shelter dogs. In 2008, 9, right around there, I started an organization called Bound Angels. I'm wearing the shirt here. And Bound Angels was dedicated to one thing, and that was helping shelter dogs get out of the shelter. I started out with photography, videography, making videos and pictures of dogs that I wanted to help get out of the shelter. And I saved countless dogs. There was a program I did called the Shelter Angel Program, in which I videotaped these temperament tests, which nobody called them a temperament test because I set them to music. I showed dogs getting along with other dogs. I showed dogs being handled, playing, training, and all that. And that made a huge difference. Over 200 of those dogs got adopted. If you ever have a chance, go to youtube.com/boundangels and just Google the Shelter Angel Program. So at one point, doing these temperament tests, a woman, an older woman who I'd known for years, ran a rescue, said to me, "God, I wish I could do what you do. I would do it for free every day." And at that moment, an idea was born. And that idea was I would train people to understand dogs better. And that was really at the forefront where my veterinarian told me you should train dogs. This was the precipice. This was the real start of what became my career, a career that I love, a career I've loved more than any career I've ever had. I can honestly say I've never been as passionate about anything. So at that point, I started training shelter employees, volunteers, management, anybody who wanted to learn what I knew. And that was how to understand shelter dogs, how to work with shelter dogs, and how to save more lives. And that idea just blossomed. I changed from Bound Angels to Bound Angels University because I thought it should be an educational type program, and that program flourished. Now, I held that program for many, many years. I was recruited by the Los Angeles City Shelter System to bring playgroups in. Playgroups were a real hard pill to swallow for some people and some dogs, because what we did is we took shelter dogs out of their kennels and brought them into a yard and let them play. And I should more correctly say, we taught them how to play. There's other organizations and people who teach things, very similarly, the dogs playing and stuff like that, and some trainers go into shelters and do some stuff. But nobody really did it the way I wanted to do it. And that was exciting to me. I want to give one moment of extreme gratitude, and I might tear up when I talk about this guy. His name was Louis Dado. He was a dog trainer. He was an amazing human being. He and I became friends, and we always joked that we knew each other since God invented dogs. And Louis and I worked together. He had so much knowledge. He had 50 years of knowledge. He was the most incredible person with dogs I'd ever seen in my life. He wanted to team up, and he let me run the program because I was an outside contractor for the city. But he was there. He was a mentor. He was a friend. He was a brother. He passed away a couple of years ago, and you'll see in my announcement I'm going to put a special honor to him. So the announcement I have for you, first of all, I'm going to tell you, just before I say the announcement, I'm not going to take any questions till the end because I want to get through this announcement. I want you guys to hear what I have to say, and I want to share it with you. And here is the announcement. 5 minutes in, I'm going to get right to it. Because so many people wanted to learn how to train dogs, how to do what I did in Bound Angels, I took the 10 years plus of Bound Angels, of the videos I shot, of the classes I taught, of everything I've done, and I've turned it into an online course. So for the first time ever, you and anyone across the world who wants to learn how to train shelter dogs, how to work with difficult dogs, can do that. Today, right now, I'm launching the shelterdogtraining.com website, and I want to show it to you. Let's take a look. Here we go. And I hope you can hear this. Let's see here. Move some things aside. Oh, let me start.
Bound Angels University is a canine behavior training program taught.
Here we go. Listen up, here's the announcement.
Bound Angels University is a canine behavior training program taught in a shelter environment with real shelter dogs. The single most important thing we can give a shelter dog is behavior training, teaching them life skills that will get them out of the shelter and keep them out of the shelter. What we do is teach shelter employees, management, volunteers from across the country the skills to save dogs' lives and understand canine behavior better. We do that in a threefold capacity. The first stage is we have canine behavior theory in a classroom. We spend 8 hours going over the drives of dogs, the breeds, types, their body language, their overall behaviors, what causes fights, what causes behaviors within the groups and within certain triggered environments. After that, we go to phase 2, which we call engagement training. In engagement training, we teach dogs how to become more adoptable. In the engagement training, they learn the skills to engage the dog, to get the dog to focus on the person, to get the dog not to be reactive to other dogs, and to get the dog into the home that the dog should be in. In phase 3, we do playgroup training. We do something different in our playgroup training because we call it structured, managed playgroup training. We teach dogs how to get along in a playgroup. We do not let dogs work it out. We do not use muzzles. We do not alpha roll dogs. We do not do anything negative to the dogs. We give them simple guidance, simple corrections, and structured interaction on how to get along with other dogs, how to interact with other dogs, and how to learn what cutoff signals are, whether those cutoff signals are from a person or from another dog. The dog needs to understand they can be safe in the yard, they can play in the yard, or they can be completely neutral in the yard. They don't necessarily need to interact. If we teach a shelter dog what he needs to get out and to stay out, that is good behavior, obedience, and structure. The dog will get out, we will save thousands more lives, and it will keep dogs out of the shelter.
So that's the original video. Now I'm going to go through the entire site with you. If you are a member of this, of myrobertcabral.com, you've already been emailed a coupon code to join the online course, the shelterdogtraining.com course. The website is shelterdogtraining.com. You can find it also through robertcabral.com. It's an intensive course. It's not for everybody. I'm going to say right now, this is not a course for every single person. This is a course for people who want to take their dog training to the next level. If you want to be a dog trainer, if you're a volunteer at an animal shelter, if you are an employee at an animal shelter, if you're management, if you're working at SPCA, Humane Society, if you're working with dogs with difficult behaviors. These were dogs that we would know nothing about, nothing about. These dogs were in the shelter. We took them out of their kennels. We have, and you're going to see videos. There's on this course, there's 150 plus videos. I'm going to give you all the details. I'm going to break it. I'm going to go into the course with you. Let's jump back over to the course for a second here. Okay, so this is the front page here. Let me move this out of the way. I'm sorry, I got to go down here. So this is the front page. You can sign up right now. This is a course that has lifetime access, high quality videos. It really deals with rescue dogs, difficult behaviors, fearful dogs, dominant dogs, aggressive dogs, shutdown dogs, dogs that are harder to understand, all different kind of dogs. This is the complete program that I taught through Bound Angels University, including the Canine Good Citizen arm of it, as well as the Shelter Dog Playgroup arm of it. There's classroom lectures. There's countless hours of classroom lectures. I don't even know. On the front page of shelterdogtraining.com, you'll see all of the details, all of them. And I'm going to talk more about that. But for a second here, you can also watch all these testimonials of all these people who went through. There's probably 100 testimonials of people who did my in-person training. And it was a very, very, very good program with amazing, amazing students that really made the program. A quick shout out to my friend Peter, who helped me put these videos together, who was a huge help in the shelter. There's a picture of him underneath the, oh, actually, there he is right here. There's Pete right there. So this is the front page of the site. Once you sign up for the site, for the membership, I should say, you're going to click on this here, which is go to the course. And inside the course, you're presented with the course. And here is the course. Now, this gives you a breakdown of the course. The course is broken down into 15 sections. The beginning section is all my welcome lectures. And in the welcome lectures, there are 13 lectures. And all of these lectures, and the first thing, and I'm going to make a real quick disclaimer here, is a course agreement. Because of the liability of working with shelter dogs, I've got to ask you to do a release of liability, because there is a risk involved in working with dogs that you don't know. There's a risk involved with working with any dog. But legally, I have to ask you to go through the disclaimer. Once you're past that, you'll see that there are courses, the genetic makeup of the dog. This is an entire manual that you'll also get with your membership. As you're a member, you'll get, I think it's a 78-page manual, a 76-page manual that you can download and print out or keep on your tablet. It's a PDF form. And the first 13 lectures are all class lectures. Why dogs end up in shelters, understanding breeds, understanding the groups of dogs, understanding canine body language, spatial pressure, correction versus punishment, understanding the playgroups basics, the blueprints of dogs' drives. Some of these things I do end up repeating in the course. The videos are very, very, very detailed. I mean, if you think the lessons are very detailed over at robertcabral.com, these are detailed lessons. The lectures are anywhere from 5 minutes long to an hour long. There's very, very in-depth lessons. Section 2 introduces you into the theory of dogs, and there's more lectures. There's a bunch of lectures. In fact, I'm going to look here. I've got a note on the breakdown of what we have. There's 60 classroom lectures, and that's over 12 hours of classroom footage. And then there's 80 demonstration and instructional videos in the yard with these dogs. So let me see something here. I just want to make sure I keep an eye on my phone in case Janet or Alan tell me I'm doing something wrong, because they're monitoring this from separate locations. Section 3 gets you started. Again, the lecture of the various groups and breeds. And some of these lectures are duplicated because I said them differently on different days. This is a course that went on for many, many years, and I recorded many, many of the seminars. Sometimes I said things a little differently. Sometimes I added things in. That's all in there. So you're getting, it's almost as if you followed me around for a couple of years and you hung out with me, which would be terribly boring. But in the shelter environment, it was quite exciting. The blueprint of the dog, understanding dogs, the anthropomorphism, one of the biggest, deadliest sins we do to dogs. We talk about safety. We talk about safety as it relates to dog handling, as well as safety, how it relates to working in a rescue environment, a shelter environment, Humane Society, SPCA environment. We talk about spatial pressure, radius of temperament, very important. We talk about just the basics of training a shelter dog. Now that's kind of different than training a pet dog, because with a pet dog, you kind of know what you're getting. You know you're getting this dog that has certain behaviors and has certain history. Shelter dog, you don't know that. There was times where Lewis and I would have 17, 18, 19 pit bulls and pit bull type dogs out in the yard playing together, playing very, very nicely. Now we use corrections. I'm going to be really clear. If you're against corrections, you're going to hate this course, because this course saved thousands and thousands of dogs. And again, first time it's available, first time we're even talking about it really in this kind of a venue. Thousands of dogs were saved because we gave the dogs fair corrections. You are going to see those corrections in this course. You're going to see us using a soft guide stick to tap dogs, to correct dogs, to interrupt behaviors. I talk about luring and shaping behaviors, engagement training, using food as a reward, talking about all different kinds of training methodology. We talk about understanding dogs, engagement training continued, recall training in a shelter environment. We're taking a dog out of a kennel we don't know anything about him. We're teaching him how to recall, how to sit, how to down, how to pay attention to us. We're teaching these dogs one of the most important life skills possible, and that is, how do you get along with another dog without trying to kill that dog? And that's critical, because that saves lives. We talk about using leashes and long lines. How do we get a dog to understand the leash? How do we work the long line? How training saves lives. How we put the leave it command in, the place command in, all these important things with shelter dogs. We talk about building confidence. We talk about things like touch sensitivity, dogs that are hypersensitive to touch, dogs that are aggressive to get out of their kennels, dogs that are fearfully aggressive. There's tons of content around behavior. And the most important thing here, getting dogs around other dogs. It's such an important thing to do. Nobody covers it. There is no course like this on the planet. I've looked, and I didn't want to do the course at first because I thought there was something else like it that I would be competing with. There's nothing else like it. There's nothing that comprises this much of a depth of understanding behaviors on dogs. Playgroup training, we talk about. The playgroup training is just that. I have a secret structure on how I would get these dogs out of their kennels and into the yard, how I would start the group, how I would build the group from 1, 2, 3 dogs to 10, 15, 20 dogs at a time in the yard. I will tell you one thing. In the entire period that I worked in shelters, and that was 12 plus years, I never, touch on wood, had an injury to a dog or a person. Nothing. There was scruffles, there was altercations, but there was never a fight. There was never no person ever had to go to a hospital, a doctor. No stitches were ever done, and no dogs were ever injured. I don't think there's anybody else who can say that. But we did that through structure. And some people didn't like structure, some people didn't like corrections. But the dogs that were structured, the dogs that were trained in my program didn't get injured. They got out of their kennels, they got to play, they learned life skills, and most of them all went home. We talk about behavior observations. Years ago, I started a behavior assessment tool, which was a temperament test essentially, called the Behavior Assessment and Reactivity Checklist, BARC. We had an app for a while. The app went away, but it's still a paper program that you can use to assess the temperament of dog. Just for that alone, just that program alone makes this course worthwhile for anybody who's going to join up. What do we see in the dog? How do we define the behaviors? How do we read the dog's body languages? We're working with problem solving, high drive dogs, dogs that are mouthy, the dogs that are constantly nipping at your hand. We talk about barrier aggression. One of the things these are topics that really aren't covered in my day-to-day dog training. It's very, very, very different. We talk about fear biting. We talk about leash biting, dogs that are just chomping at the leash, pulling on the leash, trying to bite at people. I spent an immense amount of time on corrections and how corrections save lives. I talk about corrections over and over and over again because without corrections, we cannot save dogs' lives. It's absolutely impossible. Each of these sections has a subsection, and each of the subsections has a lesson, right? So for example here, large group engagement. You'll see there's the whole entire, the text, and then you'll see here, there's a lesson, a video lesson that goes with it. So you'll see here, I'm going to play this lesson.
Okay, so start here. You guys clockwise, that's this way.
Come on.
You guys on the outside this way. correct your dogs, get your dogs engaged. You should have treats, you should have praise.
Now, these are
Put a
all
little pep in
shelter
your step,
dogs.
Joe. Go, 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 go.
These dogs have never been out of the shelter. These are people who have not
Everybody's going
really
the
had
same
a lot of
direction.
experience
Who's supposed to be
training.
going counterclockwise?
Yeah,
You guys are all going counterclock. Boy.
Jeez, turn around.
You supposed to go.
It don't matter. Joe,
And
keep
we
going.
also,
Joe,
as
just
well as
keep
this,
going. You
these
go-
demonstration videos, there's classroom videos. And in the classroom, we have Q&As. So you'll see me taking questions from people in the
So
classroom.
I think when I have fearful dogs, it's good to get them in a group of dogs. I think it's fantastic. I think those kind of behaviors are better learned through a pack. But structure, obedience, what you're allowed to get away with and what you're not. I don't like dogs correcting dogs because sometimes the dogs don't see, they'll challenge that authority.
Each and every section, there's 15 sections. Each section has a quiz, and the quiz tests your knowledge. It's a multiple choice quiz. So you're not only watching videos and reading, but you're interacting with me and you're learning what I need you to learn, what I want you to learn. You'll go through, you'll take the quiz. You cannot progress to the next section until you get 100% on your quiz. So if you have the wrong answer, it'll show you the answer is wrong. You need to go back and correct your answer. And this is what corrections in dog training, you are going to be corrected. So until you get to the right answer. You'll see that we have in playgroup training, let's look at this section here, beginning a structured playgroup. Here, I'm just going to pull up a random video, a lesson here. Here's a playgroup video. Let's watch it now. This is an 18-minute video.
And now the other thing I was talking about, if you're here and you're doing a play group and this is your shelter, I'd have this on video. And I'd have this
I'm
on.
going to fast forward just a little bit here.
No, what was wrong with that? What was wrong with that?
Because they were starting to get too much and this other dog was getting in the mix too. If I don't mind two of them doing it if they're interacting, but if there's a third one, just let them wait. Let two meet, then let a third one join in. Like now it'll be fine. Little Miss Piggy.
So you'll see the countless number of dogs that I've worked with in the shelter. All these videos are, you can play them full screen. They're all either high def or 4K videos. They're good quality. Some have maybe one or two audio issues. These were not staged. This is not a course that I set up in a studio and hired videographers to do. Some stuff was shot by a professional videographer. Other things were just shot on a camera that I brought with me and had somebody shoot because I was documenting the process. This process was an amazing journey of my life, a journey that I'm going to delve back into. I just talked to Janet about it last night, that I'm going to start doing one workshop a year. And here's a great thing with the Shelter Dog Training Program. Once you sign up, every additional update, everything is free. So that means if I add another hour of instruction to it in the end of this year or next year, you'll get an email. It's free. If I change anything in the course, you log back in, it's free. You don't pay for anything. So you've got 60 classroom videos. I'm going to jump back onto so you can see me. Hang on one second. I'm going to jump over here and you're going to get to see my face again here. So the course is super exciting. Like I said, 60 classroom videos. There's 80 dog training videos. There's a 76-page manual. That's all in the course. That's all included in the course. The course has, like I said, it has safety videos, breed breakdowns, behavior analysis, understanding dogs, methodology, behavior modification, genetics, drives, understanding. The intensive amount of knowledge in this course. People used to spend 3 days at Bound Angels University with me, 24 hours, 8 hours times 3, 24 hours. This course is 25 hours long. The course is not cheap. The course is a bargain for what you're getting compared to what I've seen in other courses. I priced it accordingly, which is not something I normally do, but I didn't want to overprice the course. I didn't want to make it out of budget for people. I wanted it to be something that people can afford. There's payment options that Alan set up with different companies. So if you wanted to pay it over time, you could do that. As I said, if you're a member of robertcabral.com, you got an email with a $100 discount code off. So please use that. Now, if you're not a member of my site, then when you join the Shelter Dog Training Program, you will get a 1-year free membership. So that's a bargain right there. You automatically, when you sign up, get that. You get it upon completion. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about and then I'm going to take a couple of questions and be gone, is take a look at this here. Whoops, one sec. Coming. I should have just leaned off camera and done it. For the next few people, for the first few people who complete the course, not when you sign up, but when you complete the course, you're going to get a bonus. You're going to get the Bound Angels bag, the fanny bag. You're going to get a Bound Angels hat. You're going to get a Bound Angels t-shirt. You'll just have to specify the size. Whoops, going in there. These were all leftover things from when I had Bound Angels. And I'm also send a copy of my book, Desperate Dogs, Determined Measures, this is the book I wrote on saving shelter dogs and how to do it. So when you end up signing up for the course, you're getting a bunch of stuff. You're getting, like I said, the course, which is 25 hours long, including videos, instructional videos, class lecture videos. You're getting all the gear. You're getting the hat. Now the hats, the t-shirts, the book, and the fanny bag, I will only be able to send that for as long as I have it. I have it all left over still from Bound Angels because I've decided this year to sunset the nonprofit aspect of Bound Angels. No longer taking donations, no longer going to be a nonprofit at the end of this year. I'm wrapping it up. I've given some nice grants out to some very, very good organizations, a lot of rescues and stuff. And I will be wrapping up Bound Angels as a nonprofit. I will still, as a personal person, as a person, individual, I should say, I will be going to shelters once a year or maybe twice a year and doing some workshops. Those will be filmed and those will be included in the shelter dog training program free of charge once you pay the initial sign up. So that's it. I'm going to jump up here. I'm going to grab a couple questions from you guys, but I want to be able to have this so that people who are watching afterwards can watch the announcement, see everything about the program. Oh, by the way, did I tell you that when you finish the program, you get a certificate of completion also. So you'll be able to download and print that, and that will be a certificate that you'll have to prove that you've done the training through this classroom, through this class type video, this online training video, I should say. So let me see if there's any quick comments from people, and then I'm going to jump off here. I've got a ton of stuff to do. Let's see. Okay, there's Alan. Yes, the course is for anyone. Anyone can take this course. Anyone. If you want to be a shelter dog trainer, if you want to work with rescue, if you want to be a dog trainer in general, this is a great, fantastic course for you. And you're going to love it. I mean, you're just going to love the course. It's intense. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not like joining my monthly program where you just get a lesson. You can go at your leisure. You must go from one lesson to another. People were always asking me, why don't you do a course for dog trainers? Well, this is it. This is a course for dog trainers. And I've always said, if you want to cut your teeth, if you want to be a dog trainer, then you should work with shelter dogs. People ask why I'm so good at dog training, and I humbly always say, I only know what I learned from the shelter dogs. That is my number one credit that I have. I learned from watching bad behaviors, from watching difficult behaviors. I've watched when I was teaching how people made mistakes. I learned from their mistakes. The mistakes are in the videos. The videos are not polished. The videos are not studio type quality of videos. They are videos in the shelter environment, getting these dogs out of the kennels, getting these dogs into a yard, these dogs trying to go after other dogs. How do we correct dogs when they go after other dogs? How do we, at the end of every interaction with those dogs, make those dogs successful? How do we breed success into this program? And it is through corrections, structure, and reward. That's it. Fair. Janet looked through the course, I should say, and thought it was really fantastic. She's my toughest critic. I love her with all my heart and soul. She really makes me a better person. She helped me through it. Then Alan, helped really structure it. Manny from Palm Springs was a student of mine who came and trained with me, and I had him go through the program. And he said it's fantastic. He said it's one of the best things he's seen. Guys, there is nothing like this program. I can tell you that right now. Yes, there are payment plans available to people outside U.S. I don't know, but I'm sure they are to the outside. I'm just looking forward to you guys signing up. What I really want to see is I want to see you guys sign up for this only if you really love it. You know, if you're really into it. This is not a hard sales pitch at all. I think this program will sell itself. I think it'll be a very successful program because it's coming from my heart. This is my heart and soul, which I poured out to you. And honestly, I said it to Alan this morning. I said it to Janet over and over again. When I leave this planet, this course will be my legacy. This will be the thing that I leave behind to people who want to better understand dogs. This will be something that will help people learn what I taught. I taught it to several hundred people over the course of these years, several hundred people, but I want to make it available further because people always said, I can't take off 3 days and get to LA. I can't afford the money to take off from work. I can't afford the time to take off from work. Well, now you don't have to. But this is the best thing that I've done. So if you like my online program, if you like my YouTube videos, you're going to love this program. For those of you who work at a shelter, get a hold of Alan. There's a contact form on the front page. Get hold of Alan. We will be working programs with shelters. So the shelter will be able to purchase a block of memberships. So you'll be able to rescue a shelter, I should say, a SPCA, Humane Society, will be able to go in and purchase 5 or 10 individual membership at a discounted price so that all their employees will be able to go through it. This is the best training that you will ever see for working with dogs, working with shelter dogs, working with rescue dogs, or working with pet dogs. There's very little that you will not learn in this course. The course will give you a complete understanding. It will work you to the bone. You'll be able to take these techniques, these lessons, and apply them later. And I think you'll succeed. I think you'll have a great, great time. I think Janet and Alan really have been answering all the questions. I'm going to put a link in the video for those of you who tuned in later. I want to keep it kind of short because I want people to be able to see this. I'm going to put a link to the shelter dog training course. Guys, I'm looking forward to the first few people signing up to see who they are. It just went live a half hour ago. Alan, click the button. You can now sign up. Like I said, there are payment plans available. I'm super excited about it. This is my heart and soul on the line for you guys. Today, August 1st, 2022, Bound Angels' program, the complete program I taught through Bound Angels, which is now called the ShelterDogTraining.com program, is now live. Join and let's get going. Let's save some dogs' lives. Thanks for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Next one will be a Q&A. Today, just an announcement. Thank you for being here. God bless all of you, and I'll see you real soon.